Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into my channel. In today's session, I'll be walking you through the steps to deploy and connect to a MySQL database on the AWS cloud. This demonstration will cover the creation and connection process. So let's jump right into the hands-on session. So we begin by sign into your AWS console with your AWS account. So I already signed into my console now. I'm in Oregon, US West 2. So navigate to my RDS. I have RDS here because it's one of the most recently visited AWS service I went on. So you can, if you don't have RDS, just come over here to the search box and put in RDS. So click on RDS here and scroll down to this point here, create database. Click create database, and so here you choose standard create. This gives you the opportunity to provision your database based on your own needs. You can choose whatever you want, your username, password, and some other stuff that we'll see as we proceed. So the engine type you are going to deploy today is MySQL, or MySQL as some other people call it, but I call it MySQL. So scroll down, and now let's begin to provision as we desire. So choose free tier so that you can remain within the free tier and you don't get any charge. So stay within the free tier. And here the DB instance identifier, you can put whatever name you want here, but you just have to you have to follow the guidance written underneath here, because there are some characters that are not allowed, that you cannot input here. So I will simply just let it be the way it is, like database 1. Okay, so master username, I'm going to make it admin. You can change it to whatever name you want also. Then the next is password. I'm going to give a password admin123 admin123. Don't worry about that. You are not supposed to express something like this, but it's just basically for practice purpose. So, and after this practice session, I'm just going to take down this DB instance, so I'm not expressing anything. Thank you if you were bothering about that for me. So the next thing, now you scroll down, keep this within T3 micro, stay within the free tier. Storage capacity 20 GB is okay. We are not deploying it on the database yet. We're just going to provision and connect to the database. So storage auto scaling, you can have this unchecked, because auto scaling means that you want to provision maybe more than one database. That's what auto scaling is. When you want to provision about 2 or 3 more database instances. So connectivity, keep it this way, keep it as default. The VPC, keep it as default. And here public access, yes, because we want to be able to access the database publicly. And here choose create new VPC, and keep the other things as default. Yes, so scroll down, additional configurations, keep the port as 3306, because you can actually change the port, but for the purpose of this practice, I'm going to keep it at 3306, which is the default port for my SQL database. So enable password authentication, click here, password authentication, because we are going to use password and username to access database. So scroll down a little more and click additional configuration. Okay, keep this as default. Enable automated backups. Okay, keep this as default. Replication, no. I think there is no other thing to change here. This is just talking about how much it's going to incur in a month. So let me scroll through again to see if there's any other thing to change here. Blah 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 blah. I think that will be all. will be all. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So scroll down and hit create database. So no close. No thanks. Just close this box. It's nothing. It's okay. Just close this box. And in about 2 to 5 minutes, the database is going to be ready. And meanwhile, while your database is creating, we need to download and install MySQL Workbench. This is the software you're going to use to connect to the database that we are provisioning in AWS Cloud. So I will make this link available in the description below. This is the link. Copy this link from the description and go to your favorite browser. Oops, and put this here. So once it pops up, just go click no thanks, just start my download. I'm not going to click this because I already have my MySQL downloaded on my local machine. So just hit no thanks and your download is going to start right away. So just follow the installation wizard. It doesn't take long. It's about under 40 seconds. You should be done. As long as you follow the installation wizard with default settings, you're good to go. Once you're done, it will launch the MySQL Workbench for you. I already have MySQL Workbench in my local, so let me launch MySQL Workbench while database is creating. If I refresh this now, database is still in creating mode. So I'm going to launch my MySQL Workbench. Okay, let me search for it here. SQL Workbench. Okay, here it is. I'm going to run it as admin. Yes, it's coming up. Okay, yeah, so this is what you're going to have after downloading and installing MySQL Workbench. This is exactly the interface you're going to have. So meanwhile, I still have to wait for database provisioning on AWS Cloud. So let me check it out again. Okay, it's still in creating mode. Like I said, it's going to take about 2 to 5 minutes depending on some stuff that I personally cannot explain. One being how fast your internet connection is, and two is possibly some computer software, some computer programming going to work to help you create your database, connecting from AWS to MySQL server, this, that, and blah 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 blah. Well, and under 5 minutes your database should be ready if everything is fine. So I'm going to refresh again. It's still creating mode. After creating mode, it's going to back up again. So five minutes or thereabout. So I'm just going to pause the video and okay, now it's backing up. So it shouldn't take much longer than necessary for it to get ready now. So it's backing up right now. So I'm still going to pause the video and get back here once the database is in available mode. So I'm just going to pause the video right now. So after about four or 5 minutes, the database is available now. So, and as you can see, we have the engine is MySQL community deployed in US 2. And this is the VPC where it was created. Multi-easy no, because we're just doing this for practice purpose only. So click on your database now to access some information you need to connect. So if you have already installed, downloaded and installed MySQL Workbench, you should have where is it? Okay, I closed it. So you should have run it as administrator. So you should have, yes, you should have this output here. There shouldn't be anything here because you should have possibly your local IP here I have already used this to connect to a particular database. That is why you have this admin and this port here. You shouldn't have something like this here. So next thing is to go ahead to your database deployed on AWS cloud. I can close this out to make the screen a little bigger. So this endpoint is going to be your host name under connectivity and security. Connectivity and security. Copy this out. Just double click here. Copy this out. Then head over to MySQL Workbench. So come over here, click database, connect to a database, and the endpoint you just copied from AWS Cloud Console, paste it right here, leave the port as 3306, root, your username should be whatever you chose when you were spinning up the database in AWS. So in my case it was admin. Choose store in default as password. This pops up. Then input your password chosen on the AWS console. Mine is admin. Admin 1 2 3. Okay, click OK. Okay. So it's going to start establishing a connection with the server, with the database server. So if everything is right, the server should pop up right now. And there you go. I think it's coming up. And there you have it. There you have it. That's your MySQL server deployed in AWS. And as you can see, this is the same database deployed. This is the same database, the ID database 1. This is it right here. And now you can start your query, you can create your tables, you can do everything the database can do right here. And that is how you deploy and connect to MySQL server, or MySQL as the case may be, as you want to call it. And so I'm going to see you in the next video. So thank you for watching. See you next time.